Get ready for some great music and great stories. Band in Seattle starts right now. Welcome to Band in Seattle. I'm your host, Xander Denke, and tonight's artist is the Paula Boggs Band. Paula Boggs has had many titles: a Starbucks executive, lawyer, Army officer, KEXP board member, public speaker, singer, and songwriter. All of these things make up a woman that has been involved in so much of what makes Seattle great. A woman that just loves to write and play music. It's homegrown Americana soulgrass, as she calls it. So stick around. We'll be right back with the Paula Boggs Band.
I'm Paula Boggs of the Seattle Brewed Soulgrass Paula Boggs Band.
I can't remember a time in my life when music wasn't in it. I didn't play music though until maybe age 6 or 7. My parents had a rule about each kid learning piano. So I didn't like piano. For some reason I picked up clarinet next. That lasted for about 3 months, and my parents looked at me and said, okay, you have to play an instrument. I said, how about guitar?
14 years by without him, taking their vow. The Bard of Montreal knows how.
It was like, a duck to water. I really loved that instrument and started writing music. Songwriting became one of those things for which I gained great passion. When I was 13, my mom moved herself and her 4 kids to Europe. For the first time, I was exposed to jazz and classical music. And so when people hear my music today, it's the result of my life experience of music that moved me.
If I die before again, I hear his voice caress.
I've done a lot of different things in my life. I've been an Army officer, I've been a lawyer, an executive. I was at Starbucks for a number of years. The string that ties it together is, in each of those chapters, I was able to be pretty entrepreneurial and create something. In this chapter of music, it's really not so different. The freedom to take risk and learn from those risks that don't work out. That's, at the heart of being a musician.
She can be a portal or a bee, helping you to the other side, or sing till you bleed. You can choose win or lose, the muse you hide inside. Say la vie, don't make her the end.
Paula Boggs is our authoritative leader. She also gives us a lot of creative freedom to add our own voice to the music.
That translated into a band sense is very new because her previous experience is so much more in the law sector and business sector that when it comes over into the band, it's something that you actually appreciate a lot because sometimes bands are so wishy-washy and everybody has their own idea of what they're doing with the music.
Paula is just an amazing person to work with and has a lot of great ideas on the songs. Each one's very different.
She's so easygoing, it makes the creative process so much better.
A heart attack, break my mother's back. A mulish girl at 92 and a shotgun's aimed at you. She's the standard.
My name's Tor Dietrichson. I am a percussionist and vocalist with Paula Boggs Band.
My father used to put on this Cab Calloway record to get me up to go to school, and there's a song in there called Jump and Jive, and I used to sing along with it, and my father was surprised that I would imitate the instruments.
What to say about Tor? Tor is an enigma.
I think every band needs someone like Tor.
He's so good as far as his Latin rhythms and knowing the proper technique on kunga drums and timbales, and it's a total dream for me to work with someone like that.
She's a gal from Houston, Texas, with a wig slung round her face. Yankees tried to tame her, tried to bring her to her knees. There's an Iran and Miss Ruby, even with a pretty please.
Hi, my name is Mark Janen, and I'm the banjo and guitar player for the Paula Boggs Band. My first exposure to music was my father, who played the ukulele. It was just very common, no matter where we went, to just have some kind of music everywhere.
Mark blows my mind, and it's because when I met him, he seemed like a pretty darn good guitar player, but he literally had never been in a band before.
Mark is the professor. He's a mild-mannered guy that never fails to surprise you. We took a trip down to San Diego. He went surfing. You'd never know he was a guitarist. You'd never know he was a distinguished professor of law. On the side, he just surfs, pretty big waves.
Tried to bring her to her knees. Am I raining in Miss Ruby, even with a pretty please? I love her, she's my mother's child. Love her like a friend. She may be near that pretty gate, but a legend never ends. Ruby fakes a heart attack.
My name is Sandy Greenbaum, and I'm the drummer and music director for the Paula Boggs Band. I started playing drums at 12. My father was a drummer. When I was 16, after I'd been playing for 4 years, I knew this is all I wanted to do.
Sandy Greenbaum is the most dapper guy on the planet. Whenever we do a gig, he's the guy with style.
Sandy and I work really well together. It's pretty intimate. We're always in the back of the stage together. I prefer it back there so I can hear the drums better than anything else. We really have to work in lockstep, to make the music work.
I see sage lights in your eyes, and you have saved me, and I'm grateful.
Hi there, this is Jarrett Mason. I'm the bass player for the Paula Boggs Band. I started out in music at about 6 or 7 years old. My brother was a guitar player, but I didn't want to do exactly what he was doing. So through college, I also picked up the bass. You have to really like the instrument that you're playing. Sandy saw that I was a double bass player, asked me if I wanted to meet someone who they were looking for a new bass player.
There's drums and bass when it comes to music. Your bass player, more than often, is the one really driving the bus. You gotta rely on the bass man, and Jarrett is that guy.
Beneath your eyes, you're patient and holy, sexy and wise, and I don't take you for granted. You're always on my heart. You, me, family, till death pulls us apart, apart, apart. You have saved me.
Hello, band in Seattle. I'm Tim Conroy with Paula Boggs Band. I play accordion, keyboards, trumpet, and melodica, as well as sing backup vocals. I started playing trumpet in 6th grade and really kind of fell in love with it. As soon as I started playing trumpet, I kind of translated that information into teaching myself how to play piano and other keyboards. As a child, my mother bought me a Fisher-Price version of this instrument. It was just a pentatonic scale with rainbow-colored keys, so it was pretty cool.
It's kind of an accordion analog, but without as throaty a sound. To me, it's not a novelty instrument. It's a beautiful sounding instrument, and I like that it surprises people when you bring it on stage.
I kind of fell in love with playing in front of people and just the performance aspect of it too. Kind of feed off of that response, I think, as a musician. That's really a big part of it.
Saved me.
Coming from a rather eccentric background, Paula Boggs' music is an ode to her challenges, the things she loves, and the depth of her story. How many times have you heard of an executive of a huge company giving that up to play music? You could say that some people make music for the wrong reasons, but you could never say that about Paula Boggs. So stick around, we'll be right back with more of the Paula Boggs Band.
Look Straight Ahead is literally a day in the life of a young, urban black male.
As a young black man in this country, there's great joy in being black. There's also pitfalls that you need to navigate, and that's true both from being young, from being black, and from being a man. Those are 3 places you can lose yourself and find yourself in big trouble.
I actually met that young man many years ago when I used to ride the bus. And one day, and a young man comes on. He's agitated. I just couldn't take my eyes off him. I never had a conversation with him. It was all in my head, really, what must be in his. I realized I had an opportunity to try to say something. What I try to say as a songwriter is there are going to be a lot of forces that may tempt you.
I think that song it does express some of the pitfalls that are available for you if you decide to go down certain paths.
But you've got this. Keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Fuzzy fitness, you don't have a clue. Oh, I can outrun Venus, and I will outrun you. But
Get Along song, it's really bubbly and fun, throwback to a 50s pop song kind of with a new kind of modern twist on it.
It uses the ukulele to good effect. Again, another instrument that you don't really see on a rock record all the time.
That song began in the most unlikely way. The newspaper had an article about a form of movement called Nia. The reporter was pretty much labeling Nia as fuzzy fitness. That spawned the first couple lines of the song. It's not fuzzy fitness, you don't have a clue.
Different song. Hey, can we get along? I'm just one person. Three can start a trend. Oh, brick by brick we reclaim what was never theirs, but we gotta care.
It ended up being a song about can't we do better than we are doing and getting along as a people.
It's kind of a ode to Rodney King.
You've really seen racism come to the forefront of what's been underlying for so long.
There's some tongue-in-cheek moments in that song, but at the end of the day, come on, all of us, let's do better here.
Or must I write a different song? Hey, can we get along? 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 Thank you! Where does the ink begin? Where does the white page end? Traces of you. An outline formed by chance, an awkward palette glance. Traces of you.
When I came back to music, a couple things happened, sort of advanced my cause to return to music. One was I took a one-year songwriting class through the University of Washington. That class was invaluable in the story of my return to music. There are always new things to learn, always new ways to get better, and you just have to keep practicing, and that's my work ethic.
Free fall jazz. Every moment with you leans forward, then leans back. A bolero of human circumstance, doing a dance that has no chance. You and me stands in an hourglass.
I'm an example of someone who had music play a very prominent role, only to put it in a box for a number of years, thinking my music chapter, at least the creation of music, the performing of music, was in my past. Once unleashed, I was once again in a state of compulsion, really. Yeah, I had to write. I had to play.
May, she always wore the month of May. Now trapped in a sequin mind, she greets September.
In my experience, if you're African American, a lot of people will assume, without having heard your music, that, oh, well, it must be rhythm and blues or hip hop or jazz or blues. The thought that, well, it could be something that includes bluegrass and various other things that are part and parcel of what Paula Boggs Band is, wholly escapes the imagination of many people until they actually hear it.
We can't know the master plan. Life's a string of one-night stands. All we know is Edith's coming home.
I think there may be something about music that attracts strong women. Music is an opportunity that allows people, whether you're a man or a woman, often to be extremely entrepreneurial in a way that may not be possible if you're a lawyer. There's a freedom in music. That promise of artistic freedom and being able to shape your destiny is something about music that may attract strong women.
All we know is Edith's coming home. Coming home.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for tonight's Band in Seattle. If you want to hear more, check us out on bandinseattle.com, where you can hear full concerts and find links for more information about our bands and where they're playing next. And thanks for watching. Join us next week for more great music and great stories on Band in Seattle.